But, Brian, I tell you what, I think his exact quote was, I'm heavy bullish, 13 plus the Blues. This was said on Tuesday by the great Matty Johns, who joins us. Geez, Matty, you saw it like a beach ball.
Oh, mate.
Wow.
Mate, you throw enough, you throw enough darts, one's going to hit the bullseye eventually. Now, look, the bottom line, like 13 plus in today's game, it's really not that big a margin, not as big as it used to be with sides these days. Look, it's just a lesson. Once again, in State of Origin, you don't pick good players in form, you pick great players. They're the players you select. And we said numerous times leading into the game, the two blokes that gave me enormous confidence were Latrell Mitchell and Stephen Crichton, above everyone else. And just the presence of the two players, Crichton's first touch, he went straight over the top of Isaah, and then shortly after dragged him back into the in-goal. Latrell's presence was just enormous. If you look, I think evidence of Latrell's presence is that the little flick pass he threw to Brian To'o, and it was well done by Jerome Luai. Jerome Luai timed it beautifully. He just took one step towards the defence, fired at Latrell, just gave him enough time. And if you watch Xavier Coates is a brilliant defensive winger, but he just can't take his eyes off Latrell. He just gravitates to him slightly because he just doesn't trust that Val can handle him. And, yeah, just those two blokes. I mean, best player on the field was Mitchell Moses, but those two blokes, they're just, mate, they're rock stars. You got to pick those blokes.
Hey, Matty, what about, you say Mitchell Moses man of the match, and he certainly was. 4 try assists, kicking game superb, just had us on the front foot the whole game. What happens if Cleary comes back, sneaks 1 or 2 games in? What do you do there?
Oh, you got to stay with the team.
Yeah, I think you do. Brian, you agree?
You got to, you got to do it because what happens, Fletch and Joel, you back this up. The last thing you want is all of a sudden you got a winning side there, and everyone's bought in, everyone's buoyed, and suddenly Nathan's back, and you go, well, Jerome, I'm sorry, we're just going to move him in. Like that really, it affects the culture of the group. You can't tinker with the side after a performance like that. And look, boys, it just made that game last night. It just shows you in Origin, that top level rugby league, you've just got to be squeaky clean because every error you make is going to be punished. The first half, all Queensland errors we scored off. In the second half, nearly all our errors Queensland scored off. But we won on the back of just really good old-fashioned, strong, boring, basic fundamentals, which are discipline, ball control, excellent kicking, and energised defence. Yeah. And that sounds, if you can do those things every single week, you'll win 95% of your games. And it sounds simple, but it ain't because it all stems off attitude and desire. And we just had so much more than them.
Mitchell Moses obviously was very good, but I thought our forward pack, especially the first 50, every player, every forward in our pack was poking their nose through it. We looked like we were in like full fast forward. Yeah. We had so much speed. Do you think, Matty, the ground was in such good nick, wasn't it?
Fast.
It looked like you were watching up there in Brisbane. It was so quick.
You know, Fletch, I think a lot of it just stems back for how up for it the team were, how desperate they were. Because you know yourself, boys, like when you're a player, in our days when we played, sometimes when the side's right up for the game, you watch the video and everybody is moving fast. And other games where you're just down a little bit, everyone looks a little bit lethargic. The side were just so up for it, or moving so fast. And Fletch, our yardage, Payne Haas was just enormous. Just short of 20 minutes, he was over 100 running metres. But Cam Murray's footwork through the middle. Yeah. Brian To'o, always finding his front. Dylan Edwards just skipping around the field, making their big blokes move. And winning the yardage battle is so important in so many aspects. But the biggest one in big games when it comes to finals and grand finals and state of origin games is that when you win the yardage battle, you are regularly in position for attacking kicks. Yeah. Right? And that's where most of your points are going to come from. If you are regularly in position for attacking kicks, you are right on top.
What about the forwards were superb? You mentioned To'o and Edwards and Lomax, another one. And what do we call it, Brian? The rolling boulder.
Gavers no moss.
Yeah, they just got them going. They were straight out of the blocks. And then what I liked about Latrell in the centres is you don't often see for him doing much at the backfield for South Sydney, but in this situation in centres, play 3, he'd pick up 15 metres.
Yeah.
You know, like
The biggest...
because he's a big. Because Joel, because at club level, like, well, put it this way, last night he was up for the fight because he's a big game player.
Yep.
That's what they do. Sometimes at club level they go, well, he wasn't so much doing this at club level. You know, like I watched him play on a Sunday afternoon against this side here, and he wasn't that good. Of course he isn't. But you put him up against Queensland, a huge game, and he'll step up and perform.
The biggest benefactor of Latrell being the side was Angus Crichton, I reckon, because the fact that Val Holmes was... They were saying that they don't worry about Latrell. Val was petrified, and that's why Angus was just one-on-one with Daly Cherry Evans, because they were petrified of Latrell. So Angus was just going, how good's this?
Fletch, Val just physically couldn't handle Latrell. No. He's just too big, and he's too much presence. Mate, Angus Crichton, my God, I haven't seen a career turnaround like it in my time following the sport. He was just mighty again. And really, a little thing that was really clever, whether it was Madge's idea or the playmakers, just amongst all those other things about our discipline, our ball control and our defence, on top of all those things, if you just tactically, just do a couple of little things that can upset the apple cart in the opposition defence in particular, then that's really important as well. And if you watch the back rowers play last night, both of them, particularly Liam Martin, what they were doing when they moved the ball to the edge, they were running a sort of parallel slant with the ball player, and in the last 2 steps they would just straighten our back rowers, and it worried Queensland that much. It just Tommy Dearden and Jaden Sewer had a horrible night together in combination. They really struggled together in defence, and they just kept. Mitchell Moses kept finding them out with short balls to Liam Martin.
Yeah.
I know it's a different kettle of fish up at Suncorp, Brian, but I just we've got the replay here for Fox League. You just don't know how they could turn it around.
Yeah, but remember there's a great quote out of the movie Pulp Fiction with Mr. Wolf, and you know the one I'm talking about. So we won't play because it's a little bit rude. So I think we just got to sort of hold our line, and just wait, because
that's right.
It's a different kettle.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel.
We cleaned it out. Okay, let's not start just yet.
Yes.
I tell you, boys, who was really, really good last night, and it's a wrap for Madge on what he did, how he adjusted a couple of players tactically to balance the football side. Isaah Yeo and Jake Trbojevic last night. Well, Jake didn't pass the football at all. Isaah Yeo, I think I'll have to go back and watch it again. I don't think he passed the ball to the 65th minute.
No.
They just were running players. So what they did, they just gave full control to Mitchell Moses and Jerome Luai and just said, boys, it's your show. You blokes just run it. And
that was the knock on last year when we had all the Penrith ball. It just wasn't working for us. Because, as you know, in Origin, everyone sort of cheats and gets offside and holds down, slow play the balls. Now, Matthew, I want to change tact a little bit if I can.
Please.
I know you're quite the traveller. You like going on flights and seeing other parts of the world. Yeah. Now, there's a new trend going on. It's called raw dogging. And the raw dogging is sitting on a plane on long hauls. No, you don't have any service, no drink, no music. You don't even recline your seat. You just sit and watch the flight path for 10 or 12 hours.
What?
Matty Johns, could you be a raw dogger?
Definitely not.
No.
I just like my alcohol and slivers too much.
Yeah, that's fair
that's. But God, trends these days. These kids are coming up with strange trends all the time. Watching the flight path.
I mean, when we were kids, it was just the planking.
Yeah.
Remember that? You just lie on the table. That was a beauty. What was the other one? Running on crates.
Knock and runs.
Snow dropping.
Yep.
I was a big snow dropper.
Mate, good old-fashioned...
Would you be getting to that game, Matty?
No, I was more the Burning Bad with the turd in it.
Right. Yeah.
Mate, the old roofing. Remember the days you just make your... you just go stoning people's roofs and stuff like that when you're a kid, and you're just entertained by the darndest things.
Mate,
Good times.
We used to do some rank stuff at school. We used to play, you'd piss in an orchie bottle, do the lid up, and you'd be 50 metres away, and you would just brand people with it.
Do you remember?
It'd hit them and explode. It'd get them, and everyone else would get the shrapnel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, we're
I
grubs.
jammed. I once went to the when I was at school. I got a the toilets they have the truffle, the trough lollies in the toilets. One of my big goes when I used to go out nightclubs sometimes is clear the dance floor. I used to just get them, put them in pockets, throw them on the floor, and just crush them. And mate, literally people's eyes are burnt.
That's right.
I got them once. I walked into the staff room. And there was the urn for the coffee and the tea, and I dropped the toilet lolly in there, and I was grassed up and given the cane by Brother Patrick.
You don't. Oh, shout out to Brother Patrick.
Brother Pat.
You don't see that anymore. The trough lollies, because it was like napalm when it exploded.
Oh.
Now there must have been something heckos in it because they're obsolete. You can't get them.
No.
They're now
He's still thinking about Brother Pat.
Mate, and I'm still thinking about the same.
Guess what's back on tonight, though, Matthew? I'm going to say this would be in your top 3 shows of all time. Carmine is back tonight.
It's back. Start tonight.
Tonight, The Bear, Series 3 is back tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Trish. Get Ma, meatloaf. Mate, the Bear's back.
Yeah.
Time tonight. What time's to start, Fletch?
I'm not too sure, but it's a stream. It's streaming.
Might be there now, you reckon?
I think it's dropping like it hot.
Mate,
Is
if
it?
I had
Dropping
another child, another boy, I would call him Carmine. Jeez, I think that's
Carmine Johns.
Yeah,
Come on.
good Italian name.
It's Disney. It's on Disney. Brooksy's just finding it now. We're going to say, has it dropped, Brooks? Yes, it's
Correct,
dropped.
Wade.
It's on
Yes.
Disney. It's dropped. It's available now on all good streaming services.
Mate, tell you what, boys, interesting you had a game 3. Oh, tell you what, if Billy was if Billy was cranky last build up, geez, I'm looking forward to this next 2 weeks.
Matthew, let's just play this press conference, this first bit here. I don't know what he's on about here, but have a listen.
We're still Queenslanders.
Can you just elaborate on that? What do you
Well,
mean?
we're from Queensland.
Yeah, no, but you asked when you're going to make changes and you said we're still Queenslanders.
Yeah, I said I haven't thought of that, and I said we're still Queenslanders, so that's it.
Does that mean we don't make changes?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it, so no, I honestly haven't thought about it.
What do you make of that? What was he alluding
mate.
to that?
I think he's been coach whispered.
Yeah. No. Mate, we had the whisperer here.
Oh, this,
Yeah.
yes.
The whisperer blew in, and he said that Madge got into his head 10 days ago.
Glass house
yeah,
is
he
wrong.
said the glass house comment got to him.
I thought Whisperer was working with Queensland.
Well, we don't know. What he's
Guess
doing.
there's a photo of him and Daly Cherry Evans together with the book, so he might be switching camps there, Whisperer.
Well, he could be. Who knows? But I know that Matt, he wants to chop fingers off. I know that. It's all about chop.
That's right. Even Woogie. Mate, what about Madge? What, up on his toes, mate, after the glass houses. He's just come into his own, Woganowski.
We've just got to. I'm just hoping we all just remember the Harvey Keitel quote.
Yeah.
Because nothing's done yet.
No, I know. It's hard to see, though. But what about Madge? So he's whacked Queensland 34 blot and a half. He's whacked Australia by 30 last year. That'd be fascinating if they're picking an Australian team right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good point, Joel, because game 1 of the Pacific Championships, mate, the Aussies smashed the Kiwis. And what Madge is very good at is watching a performance, going away and adjusting it. Of course, in that Pacific Championship, they turned around and beat us 30-0, and he's done similar here.
Yeah.
So, well done to Woog. Well done. I watched it again the other night, boys. I've been watching old movies. I watched something about Mary the other night. Hose himself, mate. Watched what's it?
Old School?
What's that one? Oh, that's Old School, and Step Brothers, and was just mate. And Superbad. Superbad is just one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Yeah.
Some of those scenes
They're-
when those blokes when he finds himself at the party and they've mistaken him for someone, and all those blokes are on the toot, and they're saying, "You're so and so's brother. You're the singer. Sing."
That
Oh
was
man!
we've got a text.
In these arms.
We've got a text come through here, Matthew. You're going to love this. It's no name, 922. Fun fact, Father Carmichael was Rocky Balboa's priest from Rocky 1. Your Father Carmichael. You know when he went up when he wanted to get blessed?
Yeah.
Before
He was who?
He was the priest.
Father Carmine.
Oh.
Every God bless her, I just thought I'd get a bit of a lesson before I go get my head punched in.
Hey, Rocky. I love it when he does that.
Yeah, he was Indian, Matthew, wasn't he? Ravinda.
Oh, I love it, mate. It's great to be an Italian, mate. I tell you, I love it. It's a mindset.
Now, Matthew, we got the night off. What are you going to be doing other than watching the bear and raw dogging?
Dogging. Mate, I'm going to... what's the Women's State of Origin's on tonight?
Oh, of course. Sorry.
I'm going to go upstairs. Got Jack cooking dinner. We're going to sit there. I'm going to whack the bear straight on immediately. Watch that, then settle in and watch the Women's State of Origin. Hopefully we'll win that one as well.
Okay. When are you going to watch the bear, though?
Hey? Mate, Fletch.
I'm losing it.
Mate, what? Oh, mate, hey, boys, I've got wind in. I got a wind. Our man, Benny Hogarth, he's told me, he said Gorden is storming around the office in at Fox Sports, basically blaming the referee for everything.
I saw some social things. He was sitting in there with his arms folded. He had his Queensland jacket on. He goes, "You blokes, just be gracious in victory. Anyway, you've lost the last two." He goes, "We don't care. See you in Suncut." Like, he was so belligerent.
Hey, I just had a thought. You speak of Gorden, Fox League, and the pair of you. Now, Matty, you're going to the Olympics shortly. So what the hell is going to happen for the Matty Johns show with no Matty Johns?
Fletch is hosting. It's going to be the Brian Fletcher show.
Is that right, Fletch?
Well, no, it's off the bench with Bear's head. But I've come up with an idea, Matty. Similar to Kick for Cash.
Yeah.
I don't want kick. I was going to do Kick for Hash, and we were going to fly a couple.
Well, that's fine these days.
Fly a couple of Nepalese kids in because that's where the Mickey is.
Right.
But what about this? Because I've got a fascination with dunk tanks.
Yeah.
I was in a dunk tank when I was about 12, and I thought it was awesome. What about we put Leon on a dunk tank, and it's called Dunk the Derrick, and someone in the audience can win $2,000, but you've got to fire a ball into that dunk thing and you knock him over from a distance.
Do you know, I reckon you've probably got 3/4 of it there, Fletch.
Yeah.
I think you've got to up the stakes as what they fall into, mate. No. The cold water's too passé.
Yeah.
I would say raw sewerage.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we could do that. We could at Fox Sports. I'll just divert the sewer.
Yeah.
Just
that week.
Just for 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Speedy still work at Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I'll go straight from his private bathroom.
We'll get Buzz's nappy.
Yes. Yeah. I'll see what Richo's doing as well. He might pop in. He might just drop one in for us.
Somewhere to park your car.
Oh, very funny, boys.
Boys. I wish we won more at State of Origin. We're on fire.